Hey, 8th graders, it's Monday, May 11th. We are working through the Caesars. Tomorrow's Zoom class, you should have read about Claudius and Caligula, and we'll be moving on to Nero next, and we'll be moving on to Vespasian. Um, Today, I want to talk about something that happens in AD 64, which is Rome burns. Rome, the capital of the Roman Empire, catches on fire. It starts somewhere in and around that Roman Circus Maximus that we talked about last week, and that rages all throughout the city. And Nero is someone who uh, is getting a little bit of pressure. Right? Why is Rome on fire? Often we blame our rulers when bad things happen. We say, why didn't you stop this? It's your fault. You should have done something better, right? We know about that right now. And we often look to our government to protect us from these kind of bad things. And so Nero was getting a little bit of heat, no pun intended, from why did this fire break out? Who's responsible? And so Nero needs a scapegoat. And uh, he blames the Christians. In 64 AD, he says the Christians have infiltrated Rome and secretly are working to undermine the Roman power. And there is some truth to the idea that that they were already kind of looked at suspiciously. To be in under Roman control, you had to worship Roman gods. The only exception to this was the Jews. They had gotten an exception. They didn't have to worship Roman gods or worship Caesar as a Roman god. They had gotten out of that duty, but they were the only ones. And Christians at this time were still kind of up in the air. Like, are they Jewish? Are they their own thing? If they're not Jewish, then they don't get to worship any god that they choose. They had to worship at least the Roman gods, and so Nero uses them as a way to push off the blame. They were looked as outsiders anyways, a little bit different, and they were an easy target. And so this leads to them having a target on their back, and um, they were crucified. They were burnt alive sometimes. Uh, all kinds of awful things. They were paraded in public and then forced to to be attacked in the gladiator ring. All kinds of awful things happened at this time. It leads so bad that Christians start describing Nero as the beast, and this is important in terms of the Book of Revelation. A lot of it has to do with the time period of Nero and writing to Christians saying that the beast will be conquered, and he becomes, in some ways, at least, kind of a type of the Antichrist, a guy who's out to get the Christians. And as he blames the Christians, it leads to wider persecution in the Roman world for a while. It doesn't last indefinitely. It'll pick up at different parts in the Roman history, but for a while, Christians are looked upon as just the outsiders. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be talking about the fall of Jerusalem and the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD under Vespasian, and finish your narrations on Claudius and Caligula. See ya.